team has done an incredible job of executing over the past year, and we have many exciting years ahead of us.
Tesla is finally set to add CarPlay to their vehicles in 2025, but it's not going to be the way that owners are expecting. There will still be some good features, but there's some good news and some bad news here that you need to know because, as always with Tesla, it's a little complicated. Plus, Tesla just released a slew of new discounts to new customers, and these are bigger discounts than we were expecting, along with a couple of freebies. I've got some updates on the Model Y Juniper launch, and also, there is some continued bad news about Tesla in 2025 that you need to know because it looks like current owners are about to get left behind by Elon and company. As always these days, lots of good news and bad news happening in the wild world of Tesla. So let me break down everything you need to know right now. Also, you need to know about this video sponsor, Sentry Pro, the only way to turn Sentry mode in your Tesla Pro and get notified whenever Sentry mode goes off. Stay tuned to learn more about my favorite third-party Tesla app and how you can get started totally for free. Okay, now in all seriousness, I really don't want to be all doom and gloom in this video. Yes, there are some serious discussions we need to have about some bad news for Tesla in 2025 and some things that owners aren't going to be excited about. But at the same time, there is some good stuff we've got to talk about, including these all-new surprise discounts that I'm not sure why they're here. But I mean, it's a good thing, so I'm not going to question it. One of the new ones, of course, is that Tesla just upped the referral discount of the Model 3 to $2,500. You can still, of course, get $500 off a Model Y, old Model Y, not Model Y Juniper. $2,500 bucks off a Model 3. Model X is going to save you $1,000. Same for Model S. And then also for Cybertruck, $2,500. The biggest discount Tesla's currently offering is for the Model 3, and I'm not exactly sure why. But they're going aggressive with trying to sell Model 3s. But it's not just the straight-up referral discount, because Tesla's also running some special lease deals on Model 3 as well. In fact, you can get the Model 3 cheaper than you can the older Model Y lease, which I'd argue you're getting a way better car for a cheaper price. Tesla actually lowered the price of the two bottom offerings now. Let me go and take off these savings seriously. You can get the true number. It's going to be $250 a month for a long-range rear-wheel drive offering, and for the middle-tier all-wheel drive, $350 a month. So I think these are down both $50 per month. Now you can get into a Tesla for as cheap as $3,000 down, 36 months, 10,000 miles, for $250 a month, which is a really, really good deal for a pretty amazing car. But this actually wasn't the only Tesla lease special that we actually got at the same time, because another Tesla, surprisingly, that got a discount in the lease department was the Cybertruck. Now you can lease a dual-motor Cybertruck for $750 a month. Tesla's really trying to move the Cybertrucks in their inventory. So if you've been looking at a Cybertruck, you've been looking at a lease deal that is now here for $750 a month. Though I should mention this is going to be a much bigger down payment. $7,500 down, 36 months, 10,000 miles. You can, of course, adjust that to a lesser down payment, though you're going to be at a higher monthly payment. So, some new specials here to take advantage of for Model 3 and Cybertruck. No changes for Model Y, Model 3 Performance, or any of the other models. That's actually not the only discount Tesla is offering for Cybertruck, though. A couple other things. Again, they're running for specifically Foundation Series Cybertrucks, as they're trying to get rid of these in their inventory. Not only can you now get a discount on those in the existing inventory, Tesla's offering free lifetime supercharging. But they're also offering a free wrap through a third party called XPEL if you go through and get a Cybertruck Foundation Series from inventory. So Tesla is trying to throw everything in the kitchen sink. Free lifetime supercharging, free wrap, FSD, all those extra goodies and things if you go with a Foundation Cybertruck. So if you want a free wrap and you want to pay Cybertruck money, or I should say Foundation Series money, that is now an option for a limited time. But the good news for Cybertruck does not end there, Because if you're looking to buy a new Cybertruck non-foundation series, you just saved yourself about $8,000, as the Cybertruck now does officially qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit. So again, the way this works is as long as you, the buyer, qualify, and you can look up the qualifications for yourself. Most people qualify. You can take nearly $8,000 right off the purchase price of the truck, making this truck effectively $8,000 cheaper. Now, the one thing to keep in mind with this is that there is an MSRP cap of $80,000 for the vehicle to qualify. So, as of right now, the dual-motor Cybertruck is right under that cap, as it seems like Tesla obviously did that on purpose. So what that means is, while it does qualify, you can't upgrade the wheels to the Cyber wheels. You can't upgrade the interior to the white decor. I believe you can add full self-driving as software doesn't count against the cap, but basically, you can't change anything. You've got to keep it sort of stock bare bones. No interior color change, and no will change in order to make sure you qualify for that tax credit if you want to save $8,000. Moving on to the Model Y Juniper, I've got some good news and bad news here that probably is worth discussing for a moment. The good news/bad news is that it looks like the Model Y Juniper Launch Edition is, I want to say, selling quite well, but there is a great number of orders. Volume seems to have picked up, and Tesla is selling out. In fact, here in the United States, you can no longer configure this with a white interior. Tesla says specifically on the website that it's sold out. So, if you do still want to get a Launch Series Model Y, you've got to go with a black interior. And then the other interesting change here is from China, as we're now learning that Tesla has removed the old Model Y from the Tesla China website, which signals a couple of interesting changes here are coming. Number one, the reason that I think most are excited about this is that it's assuming that Model Y Juniper production is ramping up to the point where Tesla is going to stop obviously selling the old Model Y and switch over to just the Model Y Juniper. And eventually, what this means is that Tesla is going to drop the Launch Series price premium and basically allow you to buy a Model Y for around the cheaper price tag of the older model. So basically, if you want the new Model Y Juniper but you don't want to pay the Launch Series premium, that should be coming sometime soon. At least this signals that it's coming in the not-too-distant future. And then one other quick discount I will mention. For those of you who are Tesla insurance customers and you do a lot of Tesla FSD driving, Tesla's actually offering up to 10% off per month your monthly premium if you've driven 50% more of your miles on FSD supervision. So I've talked before, there's a lot of good and bad with Tesla insurance. There really wasn't a whole lot of draw to this before, but if you're looking to save money on your insurance, and you do a lot of FSD driving anyways, if you go through Tesla Insurance, you can now save up to 10% a month just by doing your typical driving. So that's super cool to see. Okay, now while that is the good news, there's also some bad news, like I mentioned. We've got to discuss in 2025 because there's a lot of anger that a lot of customers have with Tesla for many different reasons. But let's talk specifically for a moment about software. There's a lot of good happening here, but also some things that are super frustrating. For example, one of the good things that is nice to see is that Tesla's actually bringing some of the features that were only iPhone exclusive over to Android phones. So, for example, the auto-opening for frunk and trunk is now available on certain Android phones. So that is super cool to see. And like I mentioned, while Tesla is not going to be bringing full support for CarPlay or Android Auto to their vehicles basically any time in the foreseeable future, they're still making steps this year to bring a lot of the core features you'd want over to Tesla's. For example, we've seen Tesla really aggressively try to add way more media sources. This is something, for example, that's been great on CarPlay. You can add different podcast apps and music apps and things like that. Tesla has really bolstered their lineup in their vehicles with Audible and SiriusXM and other options. The big thing we've heard is that Tesla really wants to sort of make their own navigation system, where you'd be able to report incidents, you could see police or red light cameras ahead, and really, I think the sort of creme de la creme, the magic sauce here, would be real-time information sharing from Teslas that dynamically would adjust traffic, construction, and congestion, and things like that built right into your vehicle. And Tesla's really, their goal here, they're hoping that you wouldn't really miss CarPlay and Android Auto And things like that if they could build in the features you'd want right into their own operating system. And as nice as it is to see Tesla try to do this on their own, I also think this is sort of one of those instances where the help of third parties can really enhance your Tesla experience and also fix a lot of the issues you'd normally have. For example, like I've mentioned before on this channel, one of my favorite apps for my Tesla is Sentry Pro that basically fixes a lot of the issues many people have with Sentry Mode. For example, I love Sentry Mode. I love to know my car is always recording, but I wish I could be alerted whenever something was to happen. Especially these days, I think there's a weird rise in Tesla vandalisms, and I think, just in general, people want to keep tabs on their car with Sentry Mode. You wouldn't know what was to happen until you got back to the car. With Sentry Pro, though, whenever Sentry Mode goes off for any specific reason, you are alerted right on your phone or your watch. Then you can jump into the app, you can check the cameras, and see exactly what's happening. That's, again, a perfect use case where a third-party developer, who's a passionate Tesla owner, has solved a real problem that Tesla's not addressing and really enhancing the Tesla ownership experience in a really big way. And I think this is one of the best parts of Tesla ownership is you really have this vibrant community of not just enthusiasts, but really smart people who can develop apps and fix critical solutions. A couple other things specifically I like about Sentry Pro, besides just the fact that it actually makes Sentry Mode way more useful, is that it's going to work on all Teslas, S, X, 3, Y, Cybertruck, it's got you covered. New features are being added all the time. I love that there's both integrations for iOS or Android and also Apple Watch, which is nice to sort of get those notifications there. And there's a new lifetime subscription offering. So if you're just someone who doesn't want to pay monthly or yearly, you just want to pay once and be done, that is now an option as well. Though I should mention, of course, you can try it free if you want to sort of take a crack at it and get started and see what it's all about. So if you do want to try Sentry Pro for yourself, I highly recommend it. Couldn't recommend it any more enough for any Tesla owner. Again, iPhone or Android, you can get started for free. The link, of course, is down below. It really does make Sentry Mode useful. It uses, of course, the official Tesla API and all that stuff, so it's very safe and secure and all that. But again, fixes one of the core issues with Tesla. So I'll leave that link down below if you want to check it out. Again, great companion for your Tesla. In addition to Sentry Pro, again, in sort of the same spirit, a lot of developers have also stepped up to try to fix this CarPlay issue on Tesla. And I've shown this off on my channel a couple times, but CarPlay on a Tesla is possible. Of course, the easiest way to go is with a third-party dongle like the Tesla Android Auto. But the CarPlay software is quite clean. You can get all sorts of things on CarPlay, from a full navigation system to, of course, all your Apple apps, all that stuff. It's not going to be perfect at first, but it is a working solution in the meantime. It's a $200 investment, but it's nice to see people already trying to bridge this gap with solutions like this one. The question of CarPlay is going to become bigger as we head into 2025. Especially as Tesla owners get more and more frustrated about the situation. Because Tesla seems to be sticking to their guns here, and I'm really hoping that they get this right at some point. Because, again, it is one of those things where I think CarPlay would really help the Tesla experience, especially considering how much Tesla is charging for vehicles. But anyways, I'll keep you updated as we hear more about these. Let me know what your thoughts are on Tesla CarPlay in the comments down below.